What's going on, guys? It's Ty and Justin from Behind the Dual Disc. Finally, back. We're back from the different dimension um, after our long, extended break of not doing an episode of the podcast. Um, First of all, we apologize for that. Just a plethora of different things, just scheduling issues, um, work, just a bunch of different things is why this pod hasn't came out yet, and we had like a lot of recording issues like with my like on my end trying to get like I had a bunch of sound issues on my end that I was trying to fix, and I finally got that worked out. But tonight we are joined by one of our good friends, Enraged Peacock, Austin Deckard. Austin, say what's up.
Yo, yo.
And tonight we are going to be talking about our for the new Bonanza set that's coming out this coming year. We're going to be talking about the our wish list for what we want to see come out of that set, and also like our 2025 goals, whether that be in Yu-Gi-Oh or out of Yu-Gi-Oh. Um, so, and Rage, you're the guest here. Would you like to start first?
Sure thing. Which you want to start with, the Bonanza or the goals?
Let's start with Bonanza first.
Okay. Well, the first thing on my wish list, like we were talking about before the recording, I wish that they made the collector rare available for the nostalgia pool instead of just the platinum secret QCR. But
Right.
that's not going to happen. So I've got a couple of goat cards that I think would be good in there, and then I've got one that's just one that I like 'cause it's like my favorite card. So for the goat format portion of it, Sacred Crane does not have a foil printing. It only has
Yes,
a dual terminal
yes.
printing, and it's very frustrating because I don't like playing commons or dual terminal.
Right.
The next one is Toon Cannon Soldier. Similar thing. It has a common, a rare, or a tournament pack ultra, which is like $200 for a like a mod play. So,
Good God.
uh, yep. So I played the
Listen,
rare version.
you must be a Reasoning Gate fan.
I am.
That is my go-to goat deck. I actually got done talking to Boyd about building Reasoning Gate. We're doing a 3v3 next month or in 2 months.
I
And
sent him a list and a replay today for that.
yep,
Same
he
thing.
sent, he
Yep.
sent me a list too. I think like the only difference is like I don't play the Toon package. I play like the Metamorphosis. But I think they're both very good builds. Um,
Well, we could have a whole
Very
podcast
fun deck.
discussion on why Toon Cannon Soldier I think is the most broken thing in Goat format. Without it's insane. But yeah, no, I love Reasoning Gate. It's I've played a lot of Chaos Turbo mirrors. I played Earth Aggro for a lot. I made it to the number two on the Goat Dueling Book ladder in 2021, just
Nice.
running through with Earth Aggro. So I'm a big fan of Goat format. It's just I have to step away from it every once in a while because it's a very frustrating format.
Right. I'm like when it comes to like goat format, like I played during that time period, but like I forgot like I've forgotten like a lot of it. Like I my the current deck I play now is Horus for goat, and it's just like I just meme with it. That's all I do. Just flip and decree, summoning level 8, and telling you good luck.
Back along those lines though, like Monster Gate needs one too. Like I know it's got like the
It was in
dual
the last
card.
one. It
Yeah,
was in
like the dual
Rarity.
saga. Yeah.
It was in Rarity too. Reasoning and Monster Gate.
No, not reason. No, Monster Gate wasn't in there.
That was reason
Uh,
that was Rarity
Yeah,
Collection 1.
yeah. Reasoning Gate was in Rarity Collection One because it had the first style of like the Platinum Secret.
yeah,
Yeah, but the
yeah, yeah.
Monster Gate, the only foil is like a super rare from a set, and then the Ultra from Duel Saga.
Let me see, because I'm looking at them right here. I want to see what mine say. So I had
Yeah,
Super Monster Gates that are not from that set. Oh yeah,
yeah,
no, it's Mystic Fight. It's Mystic Fighters. You're right.
yeah. So and then along those lines too, uh, Metamorphosis is getting a reprint, which is really really good. We needed that for a long time.
Yeah,
Yes, we have.
Um, Honestly, that's really pretty much it. Chaos Sorcerer needs a good holo print.
yeah, because
I like the supers from the Yugi world. That's what I
Yeah, I do
use.
too. But like now that my whole Reasoning 8 deck is platinum rare, I sort of want a Chaos
Yeah,
Sorcerer
yeah,
match
you
it.
have a match, but I'd also like to
Yeah,
see it like in a, like I said, a collector's rare, or
yeah,
because you have the tournament, you have the ultra from the turbo pack, which is absurd, or you have the super, and then the rare ones are. I don't. like rare, but I don't hate it compared to like a common. But I
Dude,
definitely think that having those additional rarities would be cool.
I remember going to regionals back in like the early 2000s, and Chaos Sorcerer was like a $30 Turbo Pack Ultra Rare just sitting in vendors' boxes. And like they
Oh
just had
yeah.
stacks of them, like Germans and stuff. Like nobody wanted them. And like just to go back in time, dude, I would take like 10 to 20.
Well, speaking of metamorphosis, pre-COVID, in 2016, I got into goat format pretty heavy, and I went to like this local store, and I was buying and selling them, and I had at one point I had 11, and I sold them for $150 a piece, thinking out I was making out like a bandit, and then
Oh,
COVID hit, and they're like 1,200, 1,800. They peaked at 34 for near
oh
mints, and
my
I was like,
god.
because I had English ones, and I was like, I could have put a down payment for a house. I could have walked away with 30 bands, like,
Yeah, I remember you talking about that. I was like, good God.
oh yeah.
I didn't I had no clue it ever got up to that until you told me. I was like, Jesus Christ.
It was one of those things that I checked it periodically like a crackhead because it just made me so sick. I'm like, this can't be real. I just go back and refresh, refresh, refresh. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're selling at 3,200. Like
See, I
then
what
the last goat. It's not a goat format card, but the last like old like non. The rest of my cards are Edison that I wanted, but the other card was the Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon from the like Forbidden Memories.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would look cool. I wouldn't. I don't like QCR, but I'd like to have it like as a QCR, a platinum, as the whole collection of it. Just because my favorite cards, like to have it as like a put a whole front page of the binder, that being all the different rarities of it would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. If I had to pick something like at a goat, it would like that I would want like in another rarity is probably like the horse stuff. Just like just have that because there's no way I'm never getting a ultimate level 8.
An ulti,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not happening. That's that's not even close to hitting the bingo card at all.
My best friend
Dude,
was obsessed with Horus and like the dragons, like when we were kids. And I remember for one Christmas, we just got Yu-Gi-Oh packs for Christmas, and it was right whenever Solo Duels came out.
Yeah,
And I remember he got an Ultimate Level 8, and he had it for years. And I guarantee he probably traded it or sold it for like nothing, and now it's a small fortune.
it took me forever to get my hands on those cards when I was younger. Like me, me and my well our teammate Brandon Combs like he had like the like me and him both had like the armed dragon cards and stuff like that, and like we we played those until like the wheels fell off, and then I think he ended up getting them, and then after like a while he ended up trading them to me, and then like after that but like when it finally came to that time like it just wasn't good anymore.
Yeah.
yeah, I think too, like a lot of the warrior stuff would be nice, like Blade Knight, Don Zalug.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dawn would be sick.
Yeah.
The Sasuke Samurai.
Yeah, Sakuretsu armor. I know it had the speed duel secret, but having like another I'm not a huge fan of the speed duel. They're a little bit thicker and they warp a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. The
I'd be a
quality
big
of the
fan of those
printing looks
too.
good though. So
Do
I
what?
agree, but I think the quality of the printing looks good, but I agree with the card
Yeah.
stock being odd.
well one thing and like me and Justin were talking about this last night on the way back home from that Switch tournament. Um, it would be pretty cool to see like Don's Lug and like the rest of like the Dark Scorpion cards get like a retrain just to see what they do with it.
I can see that. I know Chick the Yellow spent some time on the ban list,
Yeah.
so I'm a fan of Chick the Yellow.
Okay. Remind me why that card got banned. I don't remember.
It was some infinite loop you could do in the battle phase with it, Call the Han, and something else that caused like an infinite burn looper or something.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
I got Dylan but pulled it up. Let me see. So Chick the Yellow. So it says when this card inflicts damage, ignite one of these effects, target call on the field, return that target to the hand. So something with that, Call the Haunted, and something else. I don't remember the third part of the combo, but it was a really bad multi-card combo. But it was some weird alt win condition thing you can do.
Gotcha. Okay. Um. Well, do you have any more cards that you'd like to see come out of Bonanza?
I do for Edison, not for the Goat era. Also, was Oppression confirmed in the next one, or is Oppression still up
I
in the air?
I
Oppression's not been confirmed yet.
Yeah, I wasn't
Okay,
sure on that.
well, Oppression is a perfect segue into it because it's Goat format, but it's not played in Goat format. But it's yeah. So Oppression definitely needs to be in there. It's a $12 rare, so that needs to
Yeah,
change, or you get a gold rare, which is disgusting.
yeah.
I have Dark Fire Dragon, the fusion,
Mm-hmm.
level 4 dragon guy. I think he needs a holo print. Basically any of the just generic old LOB fusions, I think it'd be cool to have those like in a holo print for like your instant fusion or metamorphosis stuff in Goat
Yeah.
or Edison. Um, Elemental Hero Mariner, I think deserves a foil printing. I think he's awesome. Dark Gaia, there's only a super, so I think having the whole myriad of things would be a cool thing. And then the Dark Calling for the same way. Dark Calling has a super
Yes.
or a like a Dusa Ultra, so there's not a good, you know, fancy printing of it. And then lastly, I just have the four frogs: Death Frog, Unifrog, Flip Flop Frog, and then I think Beelzefrog could be something potentially with like the Fishborg and all the other stuff like that. So I think
Yeah.
those
I mean,
four frogs definitely deserve
yeah. I
some
mean,
love.
you might as well.
I think the Shining for Edison for Tengu format would be a nice one too.
Yeah,
Miracle Fusion.
Yeah, that's one I really want to see is Miracle Fusion. I was very crunchy when I found out Miracle Fusion was not in this Bonanza set. Like that,
yeah. You have the with the legendary Ultra, and then you have the DR4 Super, and then you have the Ulti, and the DR4 Super and the Ulti are unbelievably expensive.
isn't the Super more than the ulti?
Yeah, because DR4 is an anomaly of when it comes to anything. I personally love the Dark Revelation sets. I recently picked up a Dark Revelation Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. It
Right,
has a super rare, which looks incredible, and a breaker. It's an ultra rare, and it kind of looks like the Magician's Horse, but the foil printing on the Dark Revelation is such a different. It's its
Oh,
own thing. I don't know what they did with it, but it is so clean. It has that old nostalgia, like almost like the old wavy print versus glossy. If you know about the differences in that, it's not quite like wavy, but it's close to wavy. I think you can get, even though it's 3 4 years later, but it looks incredible. I love the Dark Revolution stuff, and they were very short print and weird little like they didn't have a booster box or any sort of like dedicated like booster set. They were always like you get in a pack with like a hard blister kind of pack with like three like two Dark Revelations and something else and like a random promo.
right.
So they're very far and few between. So that's why the price on them is so high. It's just the abundance of them like in the wild. There's just not as much of a mass printed versus like a core set or a side set,
Gotcha. Okay.
and it's 20 years old. So
Yeah, that part. Yeah, I was looking at prices of the Miracle Fusions. Just for a damaged one is $50.
yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
I have
yeah.
Italian ultras that Tampa gave me at Nats, so I've been using those for a while.
I just play the Ultras in my Dark Calling deck, but I got one ulti for advance, and this is all I need to play. But I'll play the QCR if I had a place out of those.
Yeah, if I could get QCRs of those, I would play. I like this is probably gonna be a hot take, but because well I know I'll probably get railroaded for this. I'm actually a big fan of the ultimates that come out of this set.
I'm not.
Oh
It
yeah,
looks like, I think they're too dark.
I think they look like a sticker.
That's why I like them because I like them because they're dark looking. I was
I
like,
think
I pulled four titles last night, by the way, and in a different rarity, and I got one secret, one QCR, one ultra, and I got one ultimate. And I was like, damn, these ultimates look pretty clean. Like on the at least on the dragon rulers, they look pretty nice because I got a blaster too. And I was like, damn, that looks pretty
bro,
nice.
those look straight out of the duelist pack Odeon you would get from the flea market.
Ooh, it's back out Leon.
And it's got like blue eyes on the front cover.
God.
So hear me out. I don't hate the way they look if they weren't called Ultimate Rare because I'm like that's not Ultimate Rare,
Yeah,
and I
Right.
I
wish they
agree.
would give us the actual Ultimate Rare back. And that being associated with that, I think it just like bastardize it in my mind where I can never love it. But it has like as its actual the way it looks, it's not like the worst thing. I would much rather play an Ultimate Rare than like a QCR, like personally. But just that stigma that comes with like this is what they took from us. Like I hate it on principle almost
The ones that give
because
us.
Ulti's my favorite rarity. Like old school Ulti is by far, hands down, not even a close, the best rarity the game has ever had.
Yeah, Ulti and Ultra are like my favorite rarities in the game. Like
I think they even did a good job with the new reprints in the Light of Destruction set.
I haven't got to see like much of those.
That's what I liked about the retro print reset, where they actually had like the old style, like it was
Yeah.
the yeah, they looked like they were like an actual retro pack. It was funny because I had a buddy who he plays Pokemon mostly, and he got a couple of the retro packs that he saw, and then he pulled I think like a secret rare out of it, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, isn't this like hundreds of dollars?" I'm like, "Well, it would be if it was retro pack one, not the reprint, you know."
Like,
I'm like, it's a solid $7 or whatever, you know, wasn't anything crazy, but he was like, "Oh my gosh, I thought this was like hundreds of dollars, like almost $1,000." I'm like, "No, no." I'm like, "Sorry."
Feel like it is if you want to buy it.
like when seen those Light of Destruction reprint boxes at Walmart, I didn't know that they came like that. And I was just like, yo, what? Like, and I was like $17. I seen it on the front. I was like, oh, it's only 4 packs in this thing. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Dude, if that was for a booster box, I'd have bought 10 of them.
Same. I was just like, yo, I thought there was like a mistake. I was like, I'm about to take full advantage. I'm about to make out
Yeah,
like
because they do look. They literally look like they're called a mini box, and it
yeah.
looked like a miniature booster box.
Yeah, I was about to make out like a bandit. I was like, I'm about to buy like 4 of these and call it a day.
I I I do want the Destiny and Dragoons that's in the set. Those ultis.
Yeah, that was one.
Because
That was one of my favorite cards.
oh, dude.
As a kid when that set came out, because that card was like, even though it's not that great, it was just so cool looking.
It looks cool. Yeah, yeah. All the old Destiny hero cards look insane.
Bro, if Destiny and Dragoon was a Destiny hero by name, I think it'd be a little bit better.
Yeah,
I know its effect is what you discard something and something happens. About as far as I know.
Nah, you just
Right?
target a monster in the field and pop it and deal the damage equal to the attack, but you can't attack that turn.
Gotcha.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, like you face down monster state, their attack counts to 0 because it looks at the
Yeah.
attack while on field. So I actually
Right.
play that deck for funsies and on the ladder and do pretty decent with it. Like I main deck like deck devies and eradicators, so like it dodges like bottomlesses, things like that, deep presence and stuff.
it
Um,
it
but
was
it's like a glass ceiling.
yeah.
What level is it?
I think
Do what?
What level is he?
I think he's level 8.
I thought so because we were talking the other day in the group chat about like this random like watered down Edison kind of thing, and I came up with this like DDT list that was trying to abuse Over Destiny, which is a card that basically says Special
Yeah,
and Diamond Dude from the deck.
yeah.
right.
So I'm like, that could be a cool thing to do with it. I think Over Destiny is a really fun card if it was like if it came out after like all the DDT stuff was like hit. So I'm like, that would have been such a broken card if it came out in like '07 or
Yeah,
early '08.
yeah. That if
Funny
you
story is Ty probably knows this too. Is Destiny Hero Dreadmaster was actually played in Modern about a year ago.
yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
was.
Yeah, for DPE stuff, right?
Hmm. Yeah, because it comes back and then gets all the attack of the monsters in the field and pretty much makes all your cards like indestructible that turn.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know the ultimate was like $400 for a while, like an
dude,
ulti first ed.
yeah, it's still ridiculous. I think it's still up there. I know like a damage was like over $100 not too long ago.
Yeah. Me and my good friend at my local Conway, we used to have what we called the decoy binder for like little kids and like people who you were worried to like mess up your cards. And it was like you'd use it to like trade little kids stuff to get their good cards. You'd give them cards so they feel good. Those all the like E heroes, Destiny heroes. And looking back, I'm like, that was probably like a small fortune now. Like the ulti Tempest, like all the ulti bad E hero fusions that you just pull out of
Oh,
like your entry packs or prizing packs. And now those are like hundreds upon hundreds of dollars. And if they were in good conditions, you get them graded, they're thousands upon thousands of dollars.
dude, speaking of heroes, have you seen the ultra rare Dark Gaia from the Speed Duel?
Uh-uh.
Oh, that's what I've been playing because it came in like a Speed Duel Turbo Pack, and I played a Dark Gaia yesterday, and the ultras are just so clean, dude.
I didn't know
Um,
that you were a Dark Gaia enjoyer. That's incredible.
oh
I love to
yeah,
hear it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
yeah,
I forgot you play that deck too.
yeah,
Yeah, I have no idea who I'm talking to.
yeah. Uh,
Oh, I thought
I
y'all
need
knew,
two side
I
deck
thought
cards.
y'all already knew each other.
No,
Nope.
no. I might have met him one time at an Ultimate Wizard, but I was
Oh
like, man, I need
damn.
two side deck cards for this tournament, and I was like, well, Lava Golem's decent in the Amaryllis matchup, and he's a fiend,
Oh
so I put in
yeah.
two Lava Golems, and I'm going against Amaryllis game 2, and I won game 1 pretty easily. Game 2, he ended on two Amaryllis. I had Lava Golem. I summon lava golem, got rid of two Amarilla, summon Grandma, bounce the lava golem back to hand.
Nice.
And the dude's like, the dude's like, what? What are you playing?
I love it.
Um, I love that
I
deck
love it.
though.
Oh, I do too. I I'm planning on going to Orlando, and I think that's what I'm gonna take.
Nice.
No, really.
Yeah,
Are you playing? Are you gonna play like the hero version, or are you gonna play like the ritual variant?
the
Or if you
stun,
don't
the,
say, I
like
don't.
there's a I have a video coming out with Brazier like sometime this week, and it's we would go on the ladder and play with it, but it's more like the like rock stun with the only hero
Okay.
you play is, or I don't even think you let me think about. No, I don't play any of the actual heroes. The only thing I actually play is just the fiends and the rocks. So it's like
Yeah.
the Cookie Mirror Guardian, the Gigantes, Gaia Plate.
Yeah. Okay. And
Yeah,
the continuous trap that summons back from the banish pile.
yeah.
Yeah.
Permission
Heck
stone.
yeah, dude. Well, that's awesome to know another person that plays it.
Yeah, I've that's how I first get started getting a little bit known online because I won a couple of online tournaments with it, and people are like, "This is a joke." I'm like, "No, it's actually insane. Like, it's actually really good." You got to set your Raikou, you got to set your Treeborn, or especially your Treeborn, where your Treeborn is now a death sentence. So,
Dark guy is so scary. I was like kind of like nervous. Like me and Justin had to play each other yesterday in the middle in that tournament, and I was just like, dude, I'm about to get like dark
Bro,
guy out of the stratosphere.
you you slaughtered me. Don't act like you didn't.
I mean,
And then,
it worked out, but I mean,
bro,
damn, I was just especially when I had that one set defense, I was like, shit, I'm about to be out of here.
well,
well, that's the
I wasn't.
scariest thing about the deck is if you so you do all you like you play the game normally and you trade like with the version I play you trade favorably with like your Guardian or like Grand Mole or like just Caius and different things like that, and then you drop the Dark Gaia, and then after they do all that, then you have the release from Stone, you have the return from the different dimension to like finish it on top of that. So even when you deal with the threat still isn't
Dude,
totally gone because the Banish Zone is like a literal toolbox in the deck.
I was just not reading another Icarus attack because I'm like, okay, he just played one. I don't think he would set two, and I'm like, I think it's a bluff. And then sure enough, it was Icarus. But
I pulled a Madara Uchiha. What are you gonna do about the second one?
so round four, I played against Trap Dragons, and the dude saw that I played rocks, and so he sided, and he goes first game two, and he's like, he plays Prohibition, he calls Miracle Fusion. I'm like, that's fine, and he plays a second Prohibition, and he's like, man, I don't know what to call. I know you're playing Hero Beat, and I was like, oh, and he's like, oh, well, I'm just going to call Heavy Storm. I'm like, okay, so go to my turn. I play Giant True Nade, Dark
Yep.
Calling, and he's like, what is this? He's like, oh, you're playing Sacred Beast Heroes because I sent Raviel off
Sacred
Prism.
Beast Heroes is crazy.
That's
So
what
if
he said.
you play like Prisma and stuff, then I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, yeah, I played Prisma. So I just the only bad thing about Prisma is like it's Shura food,
Yeah.
and I always hate summoning Prisma going first or like summon Shura, and I don't have bottomless or something. Damn.
Yeah, I mess around a little bit with the Prisma build, and that's how I kind of gravitated more towards the one that plays like the Cookie Mirror Guardian and stuff because Blackwing has a hard time with that card because everything they have
Yeah,
trades into it unfavorably.
yeah. It's like you collude. Okay, you're down a card too, and it's so good. But I guess back on the conversation of reprints, Magical Android. Did we talk about that card yet?
No, but that is an excellent choice because
Yeah.
that is a $20 freaking super or ultra.
And then I'm trying to think of some other like extra deck cards. Most everything's pretty cheap. I know Thought Roller has a really cheap Ultra, but it'd be nice to see it match the other cards in the set.
Yeah.
Did Amaryllis get confirmed yet or not?
No, no.
That's probably a good one.
Yeah, it needs it. Like it's the fact that it's still like what like $40 still.
Yeah.
Yeah, is absolutely insane. Like, and the thing is, like, I don't really think that that deck's not is that good anymore. Like, I think it's kind of like people know how to play against that deck now, and so
Yeah,
I'm
the
kind of
surprise factor of it and like the actual knowledge how to like play against it is definitely a big thing, which is one of the main reasons why I actually kind of do want to take like the Dark Gaia variant to something like that because people that's one of the reasons why I talked with Diva Heroes. People weren't prepared for it. People didn't know the correct places to try to like, the pinch points basically to find where to stop it. You know what I mean?
right.
And like I've had be I remember I'll never forget I was playing in the grand finals of a double elimination like online local, and I lost round one, and then had to play 9 rounds to get to the finals, and then I had to play a second round. So I played 10 rounds total in an online tournament, and the very final one in game two or three, one of them for the second set, 'cause I had to flip it. Well, he goes soul release, and I'm like, oh,
Oh,
I'm like, that's awesome. And I'm like, I'm just gonna set this return, and then next turn I kill.
Damn. Which online was this?
It was the one I won in Fraser's online local.
Gotcha. The way I
Was he
the way I
was he
won
black me?
the way I won the one I won was hilarious because my opponent was on Machina and they left up Cyber Dragon with too many machines
Oh,
oh no.
and I fortress dragged them out of the world.
so that is something I do like about the Prisma build is that if you do expect there to be like a lot of Machina, Prisma just says, well, I'm gonna make your field my field now.
Yeah.
And that's how I found out about the Possessed Dark Soul versus the like Frog deck because it actually has merit in this deck because it's a fiend. You don't just do it and waste your normal summon. Like there's actual merit to it being in the graveyard and it being a fiend.
Right.
So what does Possessed Dark Soul do again?
Level 3 fiend 1,000 attack, tribute it, take control of all level 2 monsters on the field.
Okay.
Yeah. So you permanently take a Duke block.
Yep, and the swap rock and the substitute if they leave it up.
Yeah.
That is insane.
I remember I was playtesting with somebody, and I was testing out Boyd's Twilight deck, and I summoned Possessed Dark Soul, and tried to take their dupes, and they flipped Tarantula. I'm like, okay, I mean it's still going like you lose 3 cards,
Yeah,
and your dupes miss timing. This is perfect.
yeah. That's a so I had Frozen sided it at nationals, and I was telling them like with Lightsworn being able to not be they're very reliant on normal summon, but you also have a bunch of extenders where you can play past it.
Hmm.
I could see it being like viable, and there's also a dark. It's a way for him to auto get a dark into the grave, and we expected a lot of frog, so I had him side it, and I don't remember if he said it did good or not, but I was one that put him on that, and I found out it existed because of testing random stuff for the Dark Gaia deck. Just there's not a lot of good fiends in the format, so
Yeah.
I just scoured dueling, but for every single fiend that was released, and I was like, oh my goodness, there's like
Dude,
6 that are somewhat good.
so I've been trying Dark Resonator out online. And it's actually pretty cool to just be able to access your extra deck.
Yep, I think that and an instant fusion has been what my newest tech has been with the because you can make Dark Balter off of the instant fusion, and then you have 2 fiends, and then he has 2,000 attack, and then you can go to level 8 for like a Stardust before you go to drop your Dark Gaia.
Oh wow, that is insane.
That is pretty
Yeah,
good.
I've been in the kitchen a little bit.
I am going to steal that and try it out later this evening. So
I love it. Let me know how you do, because I'm a big fan of the deck, and I think it's super slept on. I still have ulti first ed Gaia plates, and then they got like a speed duel reprint. So I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? I'll accept losing a little bit of money on it because I'm never getting rid of them. But two, I'm like, I want more people to play the deck because I think it
yeah.
actually is good. People just don't believe that it is good because it does play like some bricks. So I've
Well,
been trying to work on the list to
it's not just
take
that.
back on the bricks and have more like just starters and like ways to like extend like for modern terms.
I noticed that a lot of people that play it too, like they overextend, and they like get low on resources. Like, okay, hey, I can summon Gaia just because I can, so let me banish 2 cards in hand, and end
Yeah.
up losing to like a bottomless that could have been red or something like that. You know?
Yeah,
Uh,
and like bottomlessing on your Dark Eye is awful because even if you do
yeah.
bring it back, it has 0, so it's like worthless.
Like that deck has some crazy top decks, like more like Miracle Fusion and Dark Calling are just crazy top decks. But if you're already behind, like it's really hard to get up in that like that matchup.
So this would be, I guess, the perfect segue into like the goal for 2025 because my goal for 2025 is to hopefully win an event, but definitely I want to top an event with the Rock deck. So
Yeah, that's pretty good. I just want to. I need to start playing more Ultimate Time Wizards right now. I'm big into like advanced, so like I really want to do well at Nats, and then I want to start focusing like back on Time Wizard. But I think my big goal is just to like, gosh, I don't know, break top 32 at like a YCS, and then get like top 8 of the Ultimate Time Wizard.
yeah, for like a modern event you're talking about
Yeah,
for the top 32, that'd be cool. I follow modern. I don't play it, but I follow it. I've been learning some modern stuff because my local has been getting into that domain, like Edison or not Edison, but like the Yu-Gi-Oh Commander kind of thing.
yeah.
So I've had to learn like what link summoning is and how it is, and then today I made some random like Dragon Ruler plant brew crazy thing with
What?
Virte into Dragoon. I'm like, oh, I see why Virte's banned because this card is insane.
I've been heavily abusing Verte and Dragoon on Master Duel because they just put Dragoon on Master Duel not too long ago, and I played
See,
like
that's the
like back then like back when Verte was legal, I played Cyber Dragon, and I like my my
I
my,
can see why.
my favorite combo was to go Infinity make Verte Anaconda, send Red Eyes Fusion, make Dragoon,
Dude,
pop attack.
Todd, did you see the new Cyber Dragon support?
I did. I've already been starting to like cook up like combos and stuff with
I
those.
figured.
Dude, like
Yeah, I literally learned how to link summon like this weekend, like just sitting there reading and learn how it kind of works and trying to learn how this domain format works because everything's singleton. So like a lot of the modern decks, I'm like, oh well, I can't play this engine because you can't play a single of some of these cards and like seeing the random like lines of things. But I learned that why the adventure package was so big whenever it was big because like you can basically like I had a way where in this list that I made where it's a one like basically a one card that turns into a Draco Sack and the Draco Sack turns into Cherubini. Cherubini then turns into the Water Enchantress to water thing to get the Nadir Servant to go into a full combo like that without ever normal summoning, and then you have two Dragon Rulers in the grave that haven't activated yet. Like it's some fun wild stuff.
yeah, that's another deck that's got me like because I've been out of like modern like for a good while. So like my like when I seen like Dragon Rulers was were getting like
Yeah.
new support. That's one deck that caught my eye. I'm a like obviously both of y'all know I'm a real big hero fan. Like the evil hero stuff caught my eye, and like now that we got new Cyber Dragon support, that's catching my eye. So I'm probably gonna dabble in modern for going into 2025.
I'm just gonna be doing it at like a local level just because I just there's so much of like it's a different game at that point, but it is still
Yeah.
fun. Like that's the thing, and this domain thing, it's like it's a non-competitive thing, and it's kind of fun because it's a four-player thing. So
Right.
like different cards have like more weight, and there's also like zero ban lists, so you can play like graceful, pot of greed, like painful choice, like all this ridiculous stuff,
Yeah.
and it's like a four-person thing. So like Delinquent Duo is like unplayable because you're wasting one card to get rid of someone, take two cards, and then you're paying 1,000 life points, and you have like what's called a deck master, which would be like your commander, and you pay like I think 1,000 to like normals or to summon it whenever it would be summoned or whatever. So like life points are an actual resource, and it's a fun thing. So that's what's kind of got me into learning how the modern game kind of operates.
Right.
And link summoning was never okay. I I knew that, but then actually like sitting down and learning what it is, and I found like four different random combos on my own today. And then I started out with like I'm doing book, you go to the section where it has like limit zero, and I started looking at all these band cards, and I started
Yeah.
playing with some of these things. I was like, oh my goodness, like this is absurd. The stuff you can like the ceiling for like modern cards is so high for just some of the ridiculous stuff you can do because of like the way the link mechanic is.
Yeah. It's literally just like it's like synchro summoning just like on like with a big huge adrenaline rush.
I don't see any logical reason why you should ever be able to use tokens as link material. That's basically my deck is like like token turbo link dragon stuff. It's just crazy. Like I went discard dandy, send redox, bring back a title, like get two tokens, turn those two tokens into something like it's not okay.
Yeah.
Like link
Like
summoning is
yeah,
so wild.
yeah. Link summoning is the reason why Dandelion got banned in modern.
Oh, I know. I learned that I learned how to synchro summon on Saturday, and I found this like seven combos like on Saturday.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It was a wild mechanic to throw into the game.
Man, it sounds like you just learned 10 years of Yu-Gi-Oh! In 30 minutes.
yeah, yeah. The last format I played was YCS Seattle 2017 with I played 60 card Grass, Zoo, and Infernoid. So that
The
was my last time playing Modern, and then ever since then it's only been Time Wizard. So
the last time
I've literally in person I have never link summoned a monster in my entire life. I've never pendulum summoned a monster in my entire life.
I played at a national for modern was 2017. I like everybody was on zoo, and I decided I'm gonna play barrier statues. I'm like, I got.
Just leave the Earth one in the side deck.
I'm just gonna play Fossil Dinos and Barrier Statue Storm Winds because everybody else is playing Earth monsters, and that's how we're gonna that's how we're gonna rock this thing. Like there was, I told Justin this story yesterday. There was a time at that national where I'm playing against Zoo and Boyd is walking past my table, and my opponent tries to Twin Twister, and I have Barrier Statue, Storm Winds, Moon Mirror Shield, and like a few back row down, and I flip Starlight Road to negate the Twin Twister, and he's like, okay, whatever. And then I go to summon the Stardust Dragon. He's like, you can't summon that. You can't special summon. I was like, Stardust is wind, and he like the face he gave me, he was just distraught. It's like he let his balloon go at the fair.
When doing my research for like this domain format stuff, I've recently learned about some of the decks that were really popular when I didn't play.
Mhm.
And was Bird Up the reason that the bear statue got banned, or is it because of flu?
It was more cause of flu.
Yeah, it was flu. Some more
So
got
I
banned
learned
in
about
Bird.
Bird Up, and I was like, I kind of like just with, I mean, it'd be almost a bad like bad for the brand if I didn't look into Bird Up because I was like, oh man, it's a that's a deck.
Bird Up, like it got on my nerves way more than Flu did. Flu could be annoying, but I felt like Bird Up was just way more annoying than Flu ever was. What do you like, Justin? What do you think?
Was Bird up the Lyrilisc and the Tropicate stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. The bounce back like what 3 or 4 was pretty insane.
yeah,
Is that yeah? Um, I still think Flu's annoying just because like that was one of those decks. I know modern people give it a lot of crap, like, oh, you're playing on my turn. Well, Flu was literally one of those decks where they were playing on your turn.
Well, also they
And
just special summon McCall to normal summon.
yeah.
yeah, that's essentially
Like
what it
they're doing the
was.
same thing, but it's just
And like it's not even so much the engine too. It's like the non-engine stuff they play like Shifter, which just I play Heroes all the time, but like
that was
Shifter
my
just
main thing I was gonna say. I
yeah
guarantee like Shifter was the main
yeah.
actual.
And then the
Yeah,
fact that it could literally search for this barrier statue, this normal summon the barrier statue. And then another card it could play was the Harpy's Featherstorm, which
yeah,
is
yeah.
like
Yeah.
That card's insane.
so
I read that for the first time over the
so I
weekend. And I was
think
like,
that
that's
was more
wild.
yeah. I think that was more annoying than Bird Up, just because Bird Up just didn't have as much non. I think Imperial Order was still a card
God,
during Bird Up. If not, it was. I know it
it
was. Yeah,
was.
I know it was when Tri Brigade was big.
Yeah,
Um, like
I hated that.
the Samorg lock was crazy, but I mean, like normal summon a get over barrier, then just do your stuff in main phase 2 with like Flu. It was just so hard to play unless you had the specific outs to the deck.
Yeah, like some more Glock with Imperial Order was just it was that was too much.
I learned a decent amount about the stuff happening during COVID, and I almost wish I played Modern during COVID because I think I would have fucking loved Admanspator.
Yeah,
That deck seemed oh, it's just a
Adamantium.
bunch of rocks.
Dude,
Yeah, like
so
Adamantium.
I took a break from Yu-Gi-Oh from like 2016 up until like 2019. Like the last, I played Blue Eyes at a regional and topped with it, and then I was never able to go to NAS because I didn't have like reliable transportation then. And then like I just didn't play Yu-Gi-Oh for the longest time until like right when Thunder Dragon came out. Um, no, I played like 2018 when like Gumblar and like Goki and all that stuff was a thing, like Firewall Dragon, but it wasn't fun. And then got back into Thunder Dragon, so um, I missed a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Thunder Dragon looked like it was be a lot of fun.
Dude, it
With
was.
it being a singleton format, I was looking into Thunder stuff. I'm like, oh, I can't play Thunder Dragon. I can't play Dark. I can't like you can't do most of it with just one of each of the guys. You know what I mean?
That was a deck that should have won a big event and never did.
Yeah, it had all the makings of a great deck. It just could never get there.
Just pure Thunder Dragon or Danger Thunder Dragon one. But are you talking about just pure?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
pure Thunder Dragon.
Yeah, yeah. So the Danger cards are another like collection of cards that I really enjoy because I'm a huge cryptid like fanatic. I love that. I love that stuff so much. I find it so fascinating and cool. And then I don't remember whose podcast it was, but it's one of the YouTuber podcasts where they had the guy who like works in card design come on and like talk about stuff. And the way they designed the danger cards were based on like the whole idea of cryptids and like going out and finding them. So that's why you like reveal the card, then they hide in your hand, and then they pick a card, and they're like, haha, it's over here. Like it was a cool mechanic. Like the like whole etymology of the design was like thought about like from a cryptid base, which I thought was really really cool.
Right.
And I know they were used for like degenerate purposes. So
Yeah. It was like they were mainly used for like Dark World and Thunder.
yeah, I saw the danger FTK list. I'm like, oh my gosh, this
Yeah.
is.
Like that deck was not okay, and Pendulum FTK was not okay.
I still I'm a pendulum hater, but I think that's just with me being over 30. I think I just have to default to it. Except for eccentric archfiend. I think that is a fascinating Yu-Gi-Oh card.
I
Yeah.
hate pendulums only because I can't understand them.
I like Konami kind of like killed Pendulum for me. Like I had one Pendulum deck that I enjoyed. I enjoyed Pendulum Magicians, and like they like and like I played the Endymion version. Like they was like, oh, you have to have one counter for like you have to have multiple counters on a card to for it to count. I'm just like, bro, if I go to a YCS and a judge comes up to me and says I have to have multiple counters, I just can't use dice, I'm knocking everything over.
You have to get one of those little cubes that have like 100 little bitty teeny tiny dice in it. You know.
Right. Like you wouldn't even be able to like see the card anymore for like some of them for like some of those cards. It'd just be just a stack of dice on one card.
Yeah. Well, also, isn't that the one that like I've seen in like a lot of the like YouTube videos where they're like, this card has too much text. You know, like
Yeah.
that whole bit. Isn't he the one of the main culprits of that because he has like 1,000 words on him?
Yeah, like his pendulum effect is is like a paragraph long, and his monster effect is like a paragraph long. It's like a whole page of a book.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about because I think I showed one to whenever I was at Nats. I went to this little local One Piece store because I was playing the One Piece TCG a little bit. I had a couple of friends I knew from a Discord on there, and I met up with them, and I was kind of explaining like the Yu-Gi-Oh that I play at this event is different from like modern Yu-Gi-Oh. So I showed them Snipe Hunter, and then I showed them Endymion, and they're like, "What in the actual hell is that?"
Like speaking of like other card games and stuff. I ain't gonna lie. Like after like watching like these videos like Fraser and Kenny have done on like Pokemon TCG Pocket, I kind of want to play that.
I don't. I have a hard time getting into digital like card games. Like I could never do. I never enjoyed Hearthstone. I don't play the same like on Dueling Book, and I think the Pocket would be the same way. It's a gorgeous game, and I do like Pokemon as in general. I've never played like competitive Pokemon besides like one format in like 2010, but I play a lot of Gym Leader Challenge, which is kind of like it's its own little like side format, kind of like a Time Wizard kind of thing, where it's
Right.
you're like a gym leader where you can only play like one type of Pokemon and everything is limited to one. They have their own special ban list and it's like sanctioned but not sanctioned. If that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense, it's like a community made kind of thing, kind of like how the Time Wizard turned sanctioned later on. But that's a version of it I like is really fun because playing four of a certain card like says discard a card or discard your hand draw seven like you should be able to play four of that.
Right. Like that. Like it's like the those videos. Like it got it. Like now. Like I want to try the TCG Pocket game, but like I also want to try like the actual physical card game just to see if I like if I would like that as well.
Yeah, the card game is kind of cool. There's some things about it I like but don't like because like with Pocket, you have the thing where you get an energy every turn,
Yeah.
which is nice. Versus
Yep.
in person, you have to like hard draw your energy,
Yeah.
which is
That's the only thing that like kind of like is like steer me away from it, is like drawing your resource system.
well,
Like
that's why I like One Piece so much is because One Piece, the way it works, if you're going first, so the resource is called Dawn. You have a deck of cards to your side. You have 10 cards. They're all Dawn. They get plus 1,000 power if they're attached to something. Each
mhm.
turn, if you go first, you'll get one Dawn. And then each turn going forward, every player gets two Dawn. So if you go first, you start with one. And if your opponent goes second, they start with two. So you have like what they call a curve, like in resource based games where if you're going first, you'll be on 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. If you're going second, you'll be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So you would build certain decks have more advantages going first or second depending on their curve based on the cost of the cards that they play.
Right.
So it's an interesting dynamic. But you know for sure that you know that by turn five you will have seven Dawn, five Dawn, whatever it would
Right.
be at that turn. You can map out how you want to play the game because you know for sure what your resource would be at that time. And that was one of the most appealing things to One Piece for me, as well as the pricing, as well as I love the like source material because I'm super deep into it right now and I love it. But
Bro, me too, man. I'm like up to date with every single chapter.
oh, I'm well, where am I at? I am. I haven't watched in a couple of weeks, but I'm really far behind. But I'm getting close. I'm
I'm
like right at halfway. I'm at six something. I'm what
that,
is going on right now?
that's that's
So
that's
they
that's where I'm about, right, like at the 600 mark.
Yeah, so they did the whole impel. Oh, I'm at Fishman Island. Yeah, I'm almost on Fishman Island.
Right.
So it's crazy because I've seen all these stuff in the cards. I'm like, oh, I have no idea who this person is when I'm playing the game. And then like I see the episode and like my first leader. So also you have like a leader, kind of like you build your deck around that leader. So like my leader was Gecko Moria, so I could play any Thill or Bark card in my deck, and then I could play decks that would you have a color kind of like a Magic thing where they have certain color of cards. You have black, purple, red, blue, and they have a similar kind of thing to that. But I started playing the Gecko Moria as my leader, and I knew who Gecko Moria was yet. So I played, for 2 months, and then I finally got to Throw the Bark. I was like, oh my gosh, I love this game even so much more because like the cards are designed like how the characters are in the show, and it's
Right.
it's brilliant. It's really cool.
Okay. I that's one
It's
game.
just,
That's another game I'd like to check out. I around
the
and
worst part is just that it's expensive. It is a very expensive game.
that's what I've heard. Like,
Yeah.
I've wanted to check it out, but like I honestly don't even know if, like any of the shops that like are around me that even like support it. I really don't. I'm not really not even sure. I know like
We have a
there's.
strong competitive scene where I'm at, but
Mhm.
the main problem is that I've been so spoiled with retro Yu-Gi-Oh, where if I want a card, like there's 10 printings of it probably somewhere.
Yeah.
Very once in a while you run into a situation like we addressed earlier where you have, cards that need a reprint. But it's like these are cards they've only had, 9 sets total since the game came out.
Yeah.
So everything they just recently started doing like a reprint set, which is kind of cool. But I was playing the deck and I need a card, this one card that you play a four of, and it was $55. I'm like, oh my God. And it was like
Jeez.
if you don't play that card, you are at a vast disadvantage. And
Right.
since it's a current card game, you know, after I got back from Nats and I had to like recover from, the finances of going to Nats, well, I'm like, oh crap, a new set dropped. Oh crap, a new set dropped. So now I'm 2 sets behind and my deck is no longer playable. And I have to spend another small fortune to get, current again. So I'm like, I just can't do it. You know what I mean?
So, like, our structure decks that they have, our starter decks, are they not like tournament ready?
They are broken, is what they are. They know how to move product way better than Yu-Gi-Oh does. So the last starter deck I bought was called the Three Brothers, and you got a little pack inside. So you got a full deck that the deck itself wasn't totally playable, but if you buy three of it, you can make the deck out of it. It's called Wiz Kalufi. It's Black Yellow Luffy, and it was a very good deck. And you bought three of those, so it's like $100, $30 for a deck, for a starter deck. But you get the deck, which is totally foil. You get foil Dawn, everything in its foil. You
Wait, how
get
much is a deck?
30.
Okay.
You get so for $30, you got a full foil deck, full foil Dawn deck. You get a badass, actual good deck box, not like a plastic little. Like it was a plastic one, but it looked good. It actually like was a functioning good deck box. I used it for a while, and then you get a pack, and inside that pack, there's three cards that are alternate arts of playable cards like in this like time. And my very first pack, I pulled the alt art Luffy, and that alt art Luffy was worth $40. So I made $10 off of my purchase by opening that pack inside of the like structure deck.
Nice.
So, do you need to buy like 4 decks to get a playset of every card or what?
Yeah. No, so it depends. Most of the time, like you'll have like the leader as a one of, and then I think a couple of cards will have like two ofs, but most of them are like two ofs or singleton. So basically, if you buy two or three decks, you'll have an entire playable deck for that time. I don't know what the new ones are like, but that was the one that I experienced during that time, and it was really cool because I bought the one deck that I needed because that's one to see what it was like. And I opened up, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not like a Yu-Gi-Oh structure deck where there's like random vanillas and like commons and like random stuff. Like everything in it was foil, everything in it was like somewhat relatively playable. And if you buy three decks, you had a tournament ready deck.
Okay. Gotcha. Um. So Justin, did you? I forget. Did you touch on your 2025 goals?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So as far as like mine go, just like so we can like reel the pod back in. We went on like
No,
a.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
you're
horrible
good.
about
We just went
going
back.
off
We
on
went on like a.
tangents.
We went on like a on like a One Piece, um, like just different card game rant for a little bit. It's all good. Um.
It's a great story ever told.
Oh yeah. But as far as mine goes, it's just I just want to win a big event. That's real. That's really all it is for me. Just like I'd like to win like an Ultimate Time Wizard or win like an RBT. Like I will probably never travel for like one of the like in real life RBETs, but I would definitely play in the online one.
I would consider it possibly because the pricing is really good for it. Because originally I was going to go to Maryland last year, and then it became like the same weekend after Nats, and I was like, well, it's a lot cheaper for me to go to Texas than it is for me to go all the way to Maryland.
Right.
And then I was like, also at Nationals, like everyone I know is going to be there, So I was like, I put more stake in that, and then I have a kind of a whole different life and friend group now because of me going to Nationals. So I hope 2025 basically does that same kind of thing where just good things keep happening and you just keep on trying. Basically, my goal is to top or to win one would be great, but my ultimate goal is just the whole cheesy cliche, the friends you make along the way and just have fun along the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that there is a I like. I'm really hoping that there's going to be an event like a YCS or something to where it's close enough to where we could all go and like be able to like just all hang out and have fun have fun for the weekend.
Oh, for sure,
Cause like
that'd be incredible.
I was talk like I was talking with Justin and Boyd last night. I was like you think about like back in like cause like like back in the days, like we didn't like really like explore like the towns or like explore like any like the food places and stuff like when we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
And it
It
was
was
just
an
Yeah.
in and
like
out kind of deal.
yeah, it was literally just like an in and out type deal, and like did not did not like check out any like the different foods from like different states or anything like that.
I think my big goal was just to go to Nats more than anything because this was the first year that like I got my invite with a deck that like it's just like a pet deck like Heroes. And I just sort of want to like follow up on this and like see how far I can get with the deck here in like 6 months.
I wish I could have gone
That's
to that.
awesome.
I wish I could have gone to that OTS
Oh, bro,
championship with you dudes.
it'd been a free win.
If that shop ever has any more, like I'll definitely go just to get my invite for funsies. Well, all right. We're at the 53-minute mark, so I guess we'll get ready to wrap up. And Race, do you have any like closing statements, like anything you want to say, any shouts, anything?
Um, I mean, I could talk for hours, but as far as anything that's dire that needs to get out, not really. I just hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I appreciate everyone listening and appreciating my random rants about everything that I do. But it's always fun to talk to you guys and just talk to you, nerd out about stuff. And I know 2025 is going to be even better of a year than it was for 2024 for all of us as long as we just keep doing what we're doing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Heck yeah.
Well, all right, you guys. This is Ty, Justin, and Enraged Peacock on Behind the Dual Disc. Sign out until the next one. Have a good night.
See ya.